I walked into the renovated Hamilton Giant Tiger, expecting the same scrappy deal hunt. Instead, I found a fresh food lineup and a glossy layout that felt closer to a neighborhood grocer than a bare-bones discounter. That contrast is the story. Today, we trace how a resilient, cost-disciplined chain hit the upgrade button, and what that means for your receipt. We'll connect the dots between design choices, franchise routes, and whether a facelift can stay true to a down-market soul without shifting cost onto you. You think a discount chain cuts frills to cut your bill. But now you're seeing fresh cases, glossy aisles, and sleek signs. Why pay to look fancy when low prices are the brand? Here's the truth. The new store experience is not just paint. It adds a front and center fresh zone, resets departments so food leads and general goods follow, and drops in new fixtures with LEDs and digital controls. That means more chilled space for dairy and ready to eat, tighter displays for snacks, and clearer pathways that slow you down just enough to see the add-ons you skipped before. But fresh adds risk. Cold cases pull power all day. When produce or dairy sits a few degrees off, shrink climbs fast. Staff now track temps, rotate more often, and toss what misses the mark. Those labor minutes and spoil hits push on one of two levers, margin or price. You feel it when base tags inch up or the hot promo you wait for shows up less often. Contrast the old setup with the new. The old model was quick in and out, shelf-stable basics, low touch. You grabbed canned, dry, paper, and a cheap top-up and left. The new model looks closer to your corner grocer. Fresh near the door, chilled doors down the path. Lighting that makes colors pop. You spend more time, and the basket grows beyond the list you came with. Discounters everywhere have chased fresh to hold share when dollar stores and big box chains crowd the market. Fresh brings you back weekly. Milk, eggs, greens. Those items set a rhythm. With that rhythm, you pick up 3 more things, then 5. Traffic and basket size rise together, that's the play. Think of refrigeration like a car payment. Fixed, monthly. You pay it whether you drive or not. Cases, compressors, filters, seals, and tune-ups cost the same on a slow week. So the store has to spread that nut across more sales, or accept less profit on each item. There isn't a third path. Now layer the franchise angle. Local operators know their neighborhoods, so they can tune the mix to what you actually buy. That is good. But capital upgrades hit the owner's books. When headquarters helps with gear or terms, the rollouts move. When they don't, smaller owners feel the strain and look for relief in higher mix, tighter labor, or slower promo cycles. Here's the kicker. If weekly trips rise enough, those fixed costs get diluted. The case pays for itself through steady milk runs and small add-ons. If trips stall, something gives. Either the deal depth thins, or the shelf tag creeps up on staples you watch. So why fresh now? It pulls repeat traffic and shields share from rivals who already leaned into produce and chilled. It's a defense move to keep you from splitting your spend, not a vanity play to win style points. Now let's test those claims inside one store where the facelift already hit. You walk in for deals and hit bright aisles with fresh bins up front. The Hamilton revamp feels cleaner, louder, and more guided. You face color bands that mark zones, wider lanes, and new glass doors that show dairy like a showcase, not a bargain bin. Here's the truth. The flow flips your route. Food leads, then home goods, then seasonal and apparel. Sight lines run long, so you can see the freezers and the mid-store walls from the door. That sounds helpful, but it also keeps you moving past end caps loaded with add-ons you did not plan to buy. Speed is the promise you expect. Low price, quick grab, out. The new map can slow you. Curves in the path and focal points pull your eyes to displays that earn more per square foot. Take a few extra steps, pause a few extra seconds, and that pause is where baskets grow. Produce sits near the entry now. Cold islands dot the aisle right after, with single-serve treats and ready meals at arm height. Apparel shifts deeper, past a second set of freezers, so you cross more yes zones to reach socks or basics. That is not an accident. You are steered with light, chill, and reach. Here's one grounded move that changes spend without a tag change. A staple like sandwich bread holds its price, but it now shares space with artisanal spreads and premium deli. You came for the loaf. You leave with a jar that costs 3 times more than peanut butter. The staple feels stable, but the basket jumps. The fresher look has a real effect on how you judge quality. Shiny cases and neat bins raise trust, but they need checks. Staff log temps, pull aging items, and face shelves more often. Each round adds labor minutes that the old bare-bones setup did not need. When a case fogs or a bin sits half full, someone fixes it. That work shows up in costs even when you don't see the hands. Insiders like cleaner lines and tighter merchandising. They say it helps sell across categories and cuts visual noise. The concern is the pace and the bill. Upgrades take cash and care. Roll out too fast and you strain stores that run lean. Roll out too slow and you lose the lift that fresh is supposed to bring. Your receipt is where it lands. A smoother shop has value. Clear signs reduce errors. Fresh top-ups save a second stop. That can be a win if base prices stay put and promos hit on time. If markdowns thin out or cycle later, you pay for the comfort with a higher weekly total. Here's the kicker. Hamilton now feels like a grocer at the door and a discounter at the till, while carrying the cost profile of both. That's a tightrope for price discipline. You get the look, the flow, and the chill. The real hit hides behind the new glass. Refrigeration and energy set the next test. Those shiny chillers look great. Do they leak into your receipt? Here's the truth. New cases bring a stack of costs you don't see. The big boxes themselves. LED lighting and case controls. Door heaters to stop fog. Sensors and alarms. Then the install, permits, and a service plan to keep it cold when a gasket sags or a fan squeals. Cold is not free. Power draw rises when you add more feet of chill. Even efficient cases need tune-ups. Coils clog. Doors lose seal, controls drift. Each slip burns extra kilowatts. Add the price of refrigerant when a line leaks, plus labor to find, and fix the hiss you can't hear. None of that feeds you. All of it needs to get paid. Discounters win on razor-thin overhead. Every fixed bill presses one of 2 points: margin or shelf tag. If the store absorbs it, profit thins and promos fade. If the store passes it, you pay a little more for eggs, milk, or bread, and barely notice the creep until your cart total jumps. Now, the operational reality. Fresh demands discipline. Staff log temps by zone, not just cold or not. They rotate produce, pull short-dated dairy, and check door sweeps. That is minutes, every shift. When produce warms a touch, it breaks faster. That's shrink. Shrink is waste, and waste gets priced somewhere. You hear high-efficiency case and think savings. Yes, newer gear can cut draw, but only when upkeep is tight. Think of it like a car on low tires. The model can claim great mileage, but if pressure runs low, you burn fuel and wear parts. Same here. Filters, seals, and controls need steady care, or the wins vanish. Take a neutral example. One compressor drifts off spec. Product temps creep up. Greens wilt sooner. Yogurt hits date before it sells. Staff toss more units. That loss does not sit in a single line. It spreads across the basket, so canned, dry, even paper goods carry a slice of the hit. What can offset the bill? More trips for milk, eggs, and produce. If you return twice a week, small add-on stack. Weekly sales lift and the fixed costs spread over more items. That can hold prices steady. But if traffic stalls, there is nowhere to hide. The lever is your basket. Here's your test. Track base tags on 3 staples before and after a refresh. Milk, eggs, bread. Note the promo cycle. Do deals land less often or with less depth? Do limits tighten? Stealth changes show up there, not in one flashy blowout.